pressure on homelessness services, national recognition for Ipswich's approach to city planning, and a new funding for local community projects. Adam here with the Ipswich update. Let's take a look at what's been happening across the city of Ipswich this week, one of Queensland's oldest regional cities and one of the fastest growing in southeast Queensland. First this week, homelessness support services in Ipswich say they're struggling to keep up with rising demand as housing pressures continue across the region. Local organisations, including the Salvation Army's Ipswich Housing and Homelessness Service, say they're seeing more people seeking assistance, with housing affordability and low rental availability making it harder for people to secure stable accommodation. Service providers report that emergency accommodation options are often full, meaning some people seeking help are having to wait longer to access support. Workers say the situation reflects broader housing pressures across southeast Queensland, where rising rent and population growth have increased demand for both social housing and crisis accommodation. Ipswich has become one of the fastest growing cities in Queensland over the past decade, and support organisations say that growth, combined with housing shortages, is placing increasing strain on services trying to help people at risk of homelessness. Advocates say additional support and long-term housing solutions will be needed to help address the growing demand. Ipswich is one of the fastest growing cities in southeast Queensland, and the way it develops over the next couple of decades will shape the city for generations. That challenge has just earned Ipswich national recognition. Ipswich City Council has received the Australian Institute of Architects Queensland President's Medal for its appointment of a dedicated city architect, a role designed to guide the design quality of new development across the city. The position, currently held by architect Mark Tendies, works alongside planners and engineers to help ensure new housing, infrastructure and public spaces are designed with both growth and local character in mind. Council says Ipswich could need around 100,000 additional homes over the next 20 years, making urban design decisions increasingly important as the city expands. Planning experts say having a city architect embedded within council decision-making is still relatively uncommon in Australia and helps ensure design quality is considered early in the planning process. Meanwhile, the Queensland Government has announced funding for a range of local initiatives across Ipswich, with 34 community projects set to receive support. Among them, in one of Ipswich's fastest growing suburbs, is the Ripley Valley Community Garden, which has been awarded $11,559 to help continue its work bringing residents together through community gardening and local food initiatives. Across the city, the funding is supporting a mix of projects, including upgrades to community facilities, improvements to public spaces, and assistance for local organisations delivering services to residents. Local representatives say programs like this help smaller community initiatives access funding that allows them to expand their activities and continue supporting their neighbourhoods. With Ipswich continuing to grow rapidly, community groups say investment in grassroots projects can play an important role in strengthening local connections across the city. Residents planning a visit to Riverview Resource Recovery Centre should be aware of upcoming works at the facility. Ipswich City Council says essential upgrades are taking place to improve operations and maintain the site's infrastructure. The Resource Recovery Centre plays an important role in managing waste and recycling across the region, with thousands of residents using the facility each year. Council says the works are necessary to ensure the centre can continue operating efficiently as Ipswich's population continues to grow. Meanwhile, decades of Ipswich's history have been unlocked following the digitisation of historic council meeting minutes. Thousands of pages of council records, documenting decisions, debates and infrastructure planning over many years, have now been made available online. The documents provide insight into how the city developed over time, including discussions around roads, bridges, public works and the growth of Ipswich's suburbs. Council says the project helps preserve important historical records while also making them much easier for residents, researchers and local historians to access. For people interested in the city's past, the newly digitised archive offers a window into the decisions that helped shape Ipswich into the city it is today. And finally this week, Ipswich students have had the opportunity to learn more about Australia's democratic system through the Parliament in Schools program. The initiative was delivered through a partnership between Ipswich Mayor Teresa Harding and Milton Dick, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, who in his day job often sounds a little like a school teacher trying to keep a room full of unruly students under control.
Members on my left, until the House is silent, I'm not going to call anyone.
How can it be?
Around 100 students from 26 schools across the region gathered at Ipswich City Council chambers to take part in the program, which explores topics including democracy, federation, and how Australia's parliament operates. The initiative is designed to bring civics education directly to communities, particularly for students who may not have the opportunity to visit Parliament House in Canberra. Organisers say programs like this help young people better understand how government works and encourage better engagement in civic life. So those are some of the stories making news across the city of Ipswich this week. If you'd like to see what's been happening in other parts of Greater Brisbane, you can check out the updates for some of the other areas, the full Greater Brisbane overview, and the complete update series if you'd like to follow everything that's been happening across the region this week. See you there.